All right, I am back home in the studio, the garage, after a pretty crazy week. I know people say, oh, I had such a crazy week, but it's been a crazy week. So I just got back from Interbike, which is the big bicycle show in Las Vegas, and I had a really, really good time there. So Interbike is 4 days. The first 2 days are the outdoor demo, where companies bring bikes and different gear where you can actually test it out and see how it rides. Then there's 3 days indoor. And it's the big expo, the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, where people have booths set up, and it's a big, flashy affair. And there's a lot of cool looking booths, and you actually get to see these products up close. I went for 2 days outdoor and 2 days indoor, and flew back last night. On Fridays at Interbike, they let the public, guys like me and you, actually into the show for like $20 to actually walk around and get to see everything. And me and my brother did that 2 years ago. We got a flight at 6 a.m. into Vegas, walked around Interbike all day, and then flew out the same day. Didn't even stay. Just went in and went out. And that's what I was planning on doing again this year by myself, because I'm nobody to these people. If you look at the Interbike website and say, who's going to register, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, you're not allowed to, you're not real media. But if you have a website and you've been working on a website for a year and you have so many viewers, send us your analytics. So it was just going to be a pain in the ass to try to convince them to let me in as media. I had given up on that, fighting that battle, because I know by next year when it comes around again, I'll have a big enough audience, I'll be talking to more people, that it won't be a problem. But a couple weeks ago, Bryson Martin Sr. from DVO Components saw one of my videos, commented on it, and said, hey, Brian, give me a call. So I called him up, and we got a good conversation going. And he's like, hey, man, I want to set you up with some of my suspension, set you up with a fork, set you up with the shock to actually test it out and ride it. And I was like, cool. I love that idea, but I'd rather actually go meet you guys and talk to you guys and have you guys teach me about suspension. So we were kind of going back and forth on that. And he's like, oh yeah, you going to Interbike? And I'm like, yeah, but only the Friday. I really can't get in. I'm nobody. And he's like, oh yeah, we'll get you in. And that's what they did. They got me in. I changed my flight, got everything arranged, got my Evoc bag, packed up my bag, and went down to Interbike. So I spent the first 2 days with the DVO suspension guys, had a blast. I'm going to have a whole different video about that, about them putting the suspension on my bike and them talking about suspension and setting it up and what's high-speed rebound and what's low-speed rebound. All that stuff that I really don't have an idea about, and I'm constantly learning and constantly want to learn. Oh yeah, and welcome all the flood of new subscribers to the channel. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're buying into what I'm doing. Stick around, comment, like, subscribe, all that great stuff that actually helps the channel grow. If you're interested in getting one of these shirts, you can't get one. They were only for my 2,500 subscriber update, so that was only a few weeks ago as well. But I'm very, very close to 10,000 subscribers and hoping to do another little t-shirt idea. So if you've been watching my videos, you know I dented my back rim when I was in Colorado. Oh! So I brought my bike out to Vegas, and the DVO suspension guys got the suspension set up, but I still needed wheels, like decent wheels instead of a lopsided back wheel. So a couple booths down the way was Knight Composites with carbon rims, and I bought some carbon rims. So I demoed them for the first 2 days, and I went over and I talked to the guys, and I was like, hey, I need rims. Can I buy these rims off of you instead of taking them off my bike and giving them back? So they're part of the demo fleet, but I bought them. They're Enduro carbon rims, 35 millimeter, and I'll hold them up here in a second to show you guys. A couple really cool highlights from the show. It was really cool to walk around and talk to these companies and see how they reacted to saying, oh, I have a YouTube channel and I have 9,000 subscribers and it's growing and it's about mountain biking the best trails in the world. And lots of different reactions, and a couple companies that I talked to were like super into it. And I love that because I'd love to test their products. I'd love to get sponsored by them as long as they don't turn Joey Trek on me. And so it was really cool. I probably talked to 100 people. I'll probably send 100 emails, and I'll probably get 3 real responses and 3 real relationships out of it. So even though I'm not very connected in the bike industry at all, I ran into a lot of people that I knew somehow. I was super surprised about that. Neil from GMBN was like filming in the background, and I went over and said hi, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching your videos." I was like, "What? Huh? Awesome. Neil knows who I am." So really want to do a little collab with GMBN. That would be awesome. The ultimate highlight of the show was I was heading to lunch on Thursday, walking out, and a guy goes, "Hey, Brian." I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" And shook his hand. It was ShimSham77, the first guy to ever comment on one of my YouTube videos. Just crazy as hell that he recognized me walking by, and I said hi, and just so cool. So the first comment on any of my videos was in the Tech wearable gimbal video, and he talks about, "Oh man, I want to get one, but my wife's gonna kill me," and just so good. How could it be more perfect than to run into the guy that was the first ever commenter on my channel? Like, it's impossible. All right, I thought it would be fun to actually unpack my stuff, see all the crap that I brought back in my Ebok bag. So first and foremost, I had to get my old rims back on the plane. So I used this as my overhead carry-on. I put the wheels in a couple garbage bags and t-shirts just to get them home safely. And they did come home safe. It was a very empty flight. Well, not a totally empty flight, but it was a decently empty flight where I could actually put these in the overhead bin and nobody looked twice, and I was so glad. I was so afraid they were going to say, "No, you have to check that." And then if I check these wheels, they're going to get destroyed by the baggage handlers. So got my wheels back home, even though one of them's dented already. Oh yeah, I guess I could take out the wheel first. So there you go. Got the night carbon rims going. Dun dun dun. So this was the bag that Abus was giving away. I guess they do helmets and security stuff. It was a really nice bag to be able to carry around a bunch of stuff. My pass. Some wolf tooth fat paw grips, which I'm very excited to try out. It's the Wahoo t-shirt that I won. It was like a 4-bike setup with a trainer and resistance going, and I had the best average wattage for 30 seconds. I think it was 780 watts average for 30 seconds, but the bike was crappy. I didn't get full resistance. It was freewheeling, so I could have probably done more. But holy crap, that killed me for like the next hour. I was just like sitting on the bench, just like some socks, also Wahoo. About 1 million business cards. Picky bars, they were pretty good. I like talking to these guys. They're based in Bend, Oregon, and I really liked them. I like the bars too. Oh yes, Fix-It sticks. So I used to have a pair of these Fix-It sticks that I actually bought at Interbike 2 years ago when I went with my brother, but they were on my bike on my Yeti SB66 when it got stolen. Really cool. I want to get these on my bike ASAP. This is the brand new, not out yet, Camelback Palos bag, and I'm really interested to try this out. I really like the black and orange. So nice. But I was actually reading the reviews of last year's bag, and they're pretty bad actually. Like that the bag doesn't cinch up tight enough around your waist, so hopefully they fix some stuff, and can't wait to try it out. Milk It. Now this is super interesting. It's for tubeless tires. It's a system that you syringe in your stands or whatever sealant you use, and then you can syringe it out to actually check how much is in the tire instead of unseating the tire and all that. So I'm really excited to put this on my bike and test it out, because I think that's one of the biggest problems I have is you forget to check the sealant, and then something happens and you're screwed. My old fork, which I will be keeping just in case. So far so good. Bike looks like it survived. Nothing seems banged up. I mean, I got my helmet kind of shoved in here. Not the best place to do it. So thank you, Las Vegas and Oakland baggage handlers. And of course, last but not least, the beautiful DVO suspension Topaz DVO suspension Diamond. So not enough time on these components yet to actually have a good opinion, but felt good. The testing area, Bootleg Canyon in Las Vegas, where the outdoor demo was, it was a cool little spot, but it's just tons of sharp ass rocks, so you're just constantly worried about getting a flat. So It wasn't my favorite testing ground. But I'm going to put some miles on this thing and tell you guys how I like it. Also, cool thing, built-in fender on this thing. Pretty neat. So thanks again to the DVO suspension guys for actually making this happen. Interbike was fantastic. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail.